Let's jump right in. Today, we're exploring The Practicing Stoic by Ward Farnsworth. And right off the bat, I think we need to get clear on exactly what this book is and, well, what it isn't. The Practicing Stoic is definitely not just some mood music for a hard day. It's not a cozy collection of warm, fuzzy quotes to make you feel better. No, it's really more of a diagnostic manual. Farnsworth wrote The Practicing Stoic specifically for a mind that just keeps signing these false contracts with reality.
Now, I want you to consider something. What if your exhaustion isn't actually proof of weakness? So many incredibly capable people out there carry this really defensible belief. They think, I just need to toughen up so the next setback doesn't hurt as much. I completely get that. You probably think you're just failing to carry the weight of the world, right? But what if that's entirely the wrong diagnosis? What if this deep fatigue you're feeling is actually just a failure to pause before you judge the world? Because the truth is, you're exhausted by constantly rehearsing verdicts before the world even finishes speaking. When we treat our unexamined, knee-jerk first impressions as absolute commands, we're basically taking every random chaotic event and turning it into a direct order that our body feels forced to obey. And the price of that false judgment? It isn't just sadness. It's literally wasted strength. It drains you. Ward Farnsworth actually outlines this beautifully in The Practicing Stoic. He writes, "We don't react to events, we react to our judgments about them." And this right here, this is the absolute core premise of this explainer. The obstacle sitting in your path isn't the actual event itself. It's the label we stamp onto it right away, before carrying it around all day like a heavy piece of iron. So look at this highly trainable sequence we go through. Event, then verdict, then feeling. The problem is, we almost always skip right over step 2, don't we? We genuinely think the event directly causes the feeling. For instance, a delayed text reply from a friend is an event. But jumping to, oh, they don't care about me, well, that's a verdict. And the pain you end up feeling often arrives wearing a rather convincing disguise of fact. Naturally, this creates a really intense dilemma for a lot of us. On one hand, you have the urge to control everything. You demand safety, mostly because you've seen unpredictable plans create a ton of needless pain in the past. On the other hand, you could just accept everything, just stop caring and become completely numb. I really wish it weren't true, but look where it leads. Both of these paths, extreme control and extreme surrender, are traps. I mean, if your peace of mind depends on controlling absolutely everything, your peace is going to shrink with every single surprise life throws at you. But here is the strict third path that this book actually offers us. Care about your conduct. Release ownership of outcomes. It's about acting where virtue asks you to, and frankly, just not claiming the rest. Now, I'll admit, it might feel a little less heroic than righteous rage, and maybe less warm than absolute unwavering hope. But it is a clean, adult contact with reality. And honestly, it's the only place where true stability actually exists. Which brings us to this fascinating concept, desire as a pricing system. Imagine a simple kitchen scale sitting right next to a cold, vast star chart. The star chart gives you your exact location in the universe, right? It tells you what simply isn't yours to move. But that kitchen scale, that represents your internal mechanism, and it's constantly assigning this false, existential weight to completely external things. Let's do a quick, stark valuation audit here. Look at how we price things. We put a massive premium on status and praise, but Stoic reality tells us that's just a leased identity. We deeply value wealth and comfort, but really, that's just rented ground. We absolutely demand a predictable future, yet those are entirely borrowed outcomes. If you wildly overprice approval or wealth, every minor slight suddenly turns into this devastating court date. The Stoic steps back and asks, what kind of mattering is this anyway? It's absolutely crucial to realize that false pricing makes every single loss existential. Think about it. If every external thing out there holds your worth, then your worth constantly lives outside of your control. You are literally handing the keys to your sanity straight over to chance. And we all know where that leads, absolute rage, when chance inevitably disobeys your careful plans. Moving on to Section 1, Stoicism and its critics. Facing the shadow of the philosophy. So there is a very real philosophical tension we need to address here. This idea of care without ownership can sometimes look pretty cold to outsiders. But Farnsworth actually lets the critics right into the room to prove that this philosophy isn't at all about building some dead, emotionless armor. It's actually about walking a razor-thin knife edge. It teaches us to love the person sitting right in front of us without demanding that time obey our love, to act courageously without demanding guaranteed results, to grieve honestly without adding cosmic insult to our injury. And this perfectly resolves where we started earlier. You were tired because you were carrying the weather as if it were your identity. Your deep exhaustion was simply a sorting failure. You were carrying passing clouds as if they were your permanent fate. Sure, some pain belongs to the event itself, absolutely. But so much of the crushing weight you carry, it belongs entirely to the verdict you added to it. So how do we actually fix this? Well, we can distill this book down to its core, repeatable move. Step 1, see the impression. Step 2, test the judgment. Step 3, choose the response. You see, this isn't about desperately chasing some perfectly calm, undisturbed life. Not at all. It is about building an honest, clean pause. Because that pause is exactly where your freedom first appears. And that grounds us firmly in this foundational Stoic truth from Epictetus. He said, some things are up to us and some are not. Catching even one verdict before it hardens into stone is exactly how you start seeing clearly. We don't need a softer world, guys. We just need a cleaner lens. The math is wonderfully simple. Judge less. Carry less. We have to strip away what we've needlessly added to events. Meet what is right here in front of you, do the next right thing, and simply leave the verdict of the universe unsigned. I want to leave you with this cold, clear call to action pulled straight from this book. Name the judgment you keep calling a fact. Write it down plainly. Then, step back and ask yourself, what exactly remains of your exhaustion when that judgment finally loosens?